Hey there guys, it's Mrs. Rubery, and today we're going to look at composite shapes with both rectangles and triangles. Just like before, you're going to find missing lengths of sides if needed. Break the shape into parts, shapes you're familiar with. And remember, for each of the parts, do formula, substitute, solve, and finally combine or add together the two areas. Let's look at some examples. So here's our first one. It's already broken into two pieces for you. Let's first take a look at the rectangle and see which numbers we're using. So I'm going to highlight the rectangle here. Okay, so we have three numbers. We got to figure out which is the base and the height. So remember that we're using the full base and height of the shape. So when I take a look at this, the full base of it is the 24. And the height, we're looking at either the 8 or the 12. Since it's just the rectangle, we want to use the 8. So to find the area is equal to the base times the height. So area is equal to 24 times 8. And we multiply 24 times 8 together and get an area of 192 square feet for the rectangle. All right, now we're going to take a look at the triangle. And on the triangle, we need a base and a height. So the base of the triangle, we're looking at the bottom here, and that would be the same as the 24 that goes across the bottom. The height, we're looking straight up and down. So we need to look at two different heights here. So I have an 8 that goes for the rectangle, and a 12, that's the full height of the house. But I just need the triangle. So I'm going to subtract 12 minus 8, which is going to give me a height of 4. Okay, so now to find the area of the triangle, area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. So we have a base of 24 times the height of 4 divided by 2. And that gives me an area of 48 square feet for the triangle. And then I need the area of the entire thing. So to get the entire thing, I need to add together the rectangle and the triangle. So I'm going to add together 192 and the 48 to get a total area of 240 square feet. Okay, so remember to break it into pieces, figure out which measurements you need, be careful with that. Find the area of each, add them together for your total. Okay, let's take a look at a little bit more of a tricky one. So on this one, we have a rectangle down at the bottom. I'm going to highlight that in this green. And I'm looking for the base and the height of this rectangle. So all the way across the bottom, we have a measurement of 8. And our height would be 5. So to find the area of that, I'm going to do area is equal to the base times height. So 8 times 5 would give us 40 square centimeters. Now, when it comes time for the triangle, it's a little bit more difficult. So the triangle's base is what I'm highlighting here in red. And that's just part of that full line. So on the bottom, this full line was 8. But I'm not counting the 1 centimeter and I'm not counting the 2 centimeters. So I'm going to subtract 8 minus a total of 3 because these two together would make 3 centimeters. So 8 minus 1 and an 8 minus 2, or just 8 minus 3 altogether, would give us a base of 5. We've got a base of 5 here, and we have a height of 5. So the triangle's area would be base times height divided by 2. So we're talking about 5 times 5 divided by 2, which would give us 12 5/10 square centimeters. So now to find the area of the entire thing, I need to take the area of my rectangle and add the area of my triangle. 40 plus 12 5/10. Sorry, this pen is really thick. And that gives us 52 5/10 square centimeters for the total area of the composite shape. So remember, the trickiest part on this one was figuring out the base of the triangle. So the whole length across here was 8, but I took away the 1 centimeter, that spot, and I took away the 2 centimeters, that spot, or in other words, took away a total of 3 to get the base of the triangle being 5. That was our trickiest part. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, this is similar to the first one, but there's a little less shown to us. So now we need to break it into pieces. So the rectangle is here at the bottom. Pretty easy to see the base and height are 13 and 4. So I'm going to multiply base times height would be 13 times 4, which gives us 52 square yards. And now I need the triangle. So the triangle's base is the same as the base of the rectangle, so that's going to be 13. Change colors. And the height is straight up and down, and it's shown over here, so it's going to be 6. So area is equal to base times height divided by 2. So 13 times 6 divided by 2, and that's going to give me 39 square yards. And to find the total area of the composite shape, again, I'm going to add together the rectangle and the triangle, which gives me a total of 91 square yards for the entire composite shape. All right, here's another good tricky one. So let's take a look at the rectangle. I'm going to highlight the rectangle here. And I have quite a few different measurements that I'm looking at and trying to figure out what to use. So this 180 represents that entire length. So that's not the base of the rectangle. This 110 represents one side of the rectangle, and this 140 would represent the other. So area is base times height. So 110 multiplied by 140. 110 times 140 gives me an area of, oops, I don't know what that is, 15,400 square centimeters. Now for the triangle, a little bit trickier here. So for the triangle, the base is just this measurement from this line to that point. 180 represented this whole thing. So this was 180. This measurement up top, that measured part of it, 110. So if I subtract 180 minus 110, I get 70 centimeters for the base of my triangle. Now I need to get the height of my triangle. Change this to red. So if this entire height over here is 140, and this little part here is 50, if I need to get this part of the triangle, the other height, I need to subtract 140, the total height, minus 50 is going to give me 90 for the height of the triangle. So now I have a base of 70 and a height of 90. So area equals base times height divided by 2. I plug in what I know. 70 times 90 divided by 2. So 70 times 90 divided by 2 gives me 3,150 square centimeters. All right, and on to find the total. To find the total, I'm going to add together the rectangle and the triangle to get the total area. So 15,400 plus 3,150 gives me a total of 18,550 square centimeters. That was the rectangle plus the triangle. All right, take a look at this one. So on this one, looks pretty tricky. I'm going to try to find the area here of the rectangle. So it's easy to see that's 6. Now, as far as the base of it goes, I know that this total length is 15 and this smaller length is 7. So if I need this length up top, I'm going to subtract for the other smaller length. 15 minus 7 would give me an 8. So therefore, I know the rectangle would be 8 times 6, which is 48 square meters. Now for the triangle. So the triangle, as you can see here, the base of each one is half of that 6. So I have a 3 for the base of each of the triangles, and they each extend out 7. So each triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. So 3 times 7 divided by 2 gives me 10 and 5/10 square meters. But there's 2 of them. So I could do all of that again, or I could just multiply that by 2. So for 2 triangles, that would give me 21 square meters. So now I'm going to add together. Okay, so this one was 10.5, this one was 10.5, and that was 48. So I'm going to add together my 48 plus 21 total, which would give me 69, not centimeters, but meters squared for my total area. All right, let's take a look at this arrow. So the arrow, looking at the rectangle here first, I see that it has a base of 18 and a height of 18. So area is base times height, 18 times 18 gives me 324 square inches. Excuse my sloppy handwriting. This is the website I'm using instead of Nearpod because I'm on my personal iPad at home. And now I'm going to look at the triangle. Triangle's quite a bit trickier. The base of the triangle along here is the 18 that I used for the rectangle, plus an additional 9 and another additional 9 right there. So 9 plus 18 plus 9 is going to give me a total base of 36. So the base is 36 because I'm adding together this little nubby on the left, the 18, which is part of the rectangle, and then a 9, which is the little nubby on the right. That gives me a total base of 36, and my height's easily shown right there, 27. So area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2, 36 times 27 divided by 2. 36 times 27 divided by 2 gives me 486 inches, squared. All right, and to find my total area, once more, I'm going to combine my rectangle and my triangle. So 486 plus 324 gives me a total of area of 810 square inches for my arrow. And I think I'll stop there.